fly affair nation, fly affair nation.
White guys? Mm-mm.
Never?
I've dated a white guy before. I don't, to each its own, but I will not date another white man. It's just,
He messed it up for the whole.
not even he messed it up. It's just how I feel like white men are. They make you feel like, okay, you're just this like Barbie, be cute, like, you know, like.
That's exactly how I felt.
I don't like that. I don't like. And then it's just like, it's always almost like trying to finesse or something, the privilege, the white privilege. I used to be like, this white motherfucking privilege right here. Like, I'm just turned off. Like,
That's funny. That's how I felt. Kind of like you always, when it would come to like family events or something, like, oh, how are you gonna do your hair? Oh, how, like, oh, wear this type of dress. Or I'm just like, why can't I, like, at first it was like whatever, but
they
then
don't understand the bonnet,
like,
or
no,
respect the bonnet like scarf
be...
like. They don't respect it, and I don't want to have to explain it, sir. That's how I feel. Like, white men are just like,
no offense to white,
offense.
no offense to white guys.
To our white, if
you
are
are
an
recording
ally,
right now?
you are an ally. If you are not, black love, I feel like it's so. It's starting to feel like a lot of people mad, angry, and they're not into just like loving each other and like being black excellence and melanin.
I feel like it goes way back. It goes way back. So like now that it's opening more, I don't know. I think more. I don't know. We've been taught to hate ourselves basically. So then it's hard to say like, okay, we hate ourselves. So then you wouldn't want to date someone from that race because, oh no, he just gonna leave you. He gonna have. So it was like the self-hatred that was built from years and years. So like now when you finally see it being more represented, it's like, oh, like, okay, this is how it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know,
I believe in love.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you're not taking the time out, if you're always spewing like negative, you know, about love and like what you want to attract into your life, like words are powerful. You know, like
words are very powerful.
Did you forget? Like words are so powerful. So if you're always, and if you're afraid to love, and I feel like black men want to love their black women too. You know?
Some.
My cousin, he only date white girls, and I be looking at him like, you is a fine black man. No shade, cause you know. It be like, damn, bro. Love who you love. It's not like a hate thing or anything, but it's just like black love is so important to me. You know, that's why I'm like, I don't get it, but it does go back to self-hate.
So like me, when I was growing up, mind you, my family, there's all different colors in my family, right? And then I have my mom, she was like, loved black guys, but then me growing up, she'd be like, don't date black guys because blah 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 blah. But I'm looking at my daddy like, why are you telling me not to date black guys? But you got all the kids, black guys. Like, what you talking about?
Your pops is Cuban too, right?
And like literally growing up the whole time, everything. Don't date black guys, this and that, whatever, blah blah blah. That it's gonna mess up. In Spanish, you say adelantar la raza, which is basically like better the race. But in for that generation, my mom's generation, better in the race is basically erasing the black. Right? So just imagine just always hearing that. So if I would go to school and I was into somebody and I would be into black, like I would like black dudes.
Chocolate.
So like the moment that I would like, oh, what does he look like? Oh no, I don't want to see him. No, this is not gonna happen. Blah blah blah. So then I got into dating white dudes because that's what my mom accepted. But yet she was perfectly fine with it. But then I didn't feel accepted when I would go to, so she wouldn't understand that.
What did it make you feel like though when you were like out with a white dude?
it was just weird. Like it seemed like I was kind of like you know when you be on your best behavior
I'm telling you,
type
they
of
be
thing.
acting like
Like,
you know, just
you
be
had
the
to
prize.
outdo everything, and it
You
still
know.
wasn't enough. Like even if you would wear your best or you would do everything, it still wasn't enough because I'm black.
Yeah. And they
Any
be quick to judge too.
yeah
Like more for sure
yeah
when it comes to like dating white men. But
yeah.
you like what you like.
So I was, and I felt, mind you, now my kid's father, he's Hispanic, he looks white. Same thing
How
with
does
my.
your mom feel about that? Like when you dating Hispanic guys still though? Like black guys, Hispanic guys just
It was still the same type of, like, she didn't care, and then I had my kids they look mixed, and she's like, oh, my beautiful grandsons. Mind you, I didn't have my kids off of that. I really felt like I was in a relationship with someone. I wanted to have kids. This and that, things went off afterwards, but that wasn't, because I'm a type of person like color. I don't see, like, I'm not a big color person. Even I would have arguments with her on some like I don't care if I date a black, yellow, purple, blue. I don't care.
yeah.
Like, it just happened that way, right?
I never even had that talk with my parents. I mean I didn't bring no one home to like meet my mom and dad ever.
Really?
Never.
No relationship at all.
None. That's
They didn't.
crazy.
They weren't worthy to meet your parents, or was it?
No, I feel like first of all, my dad, I don't think he could handle it. Like my dad is like struggle with alcohol abuse, alcoholism, alcohol abuse,
Alcoholism.
alcoholism.
Yeah, it's
That
alcoholism.
was a tongue twister.
He was about to look.
Yeah, but and so I don't even think he's ready to even handle or see. He still be like, Sharrell, Shay, you gonna go and like marry somebody? I'll kill him, Dad. I'll kill him. I'm like, he's really, but he really is on some like, he just be out here.
Really?
I'm like, I don't even know if I would invite you to the wedding, Pops, because.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I just feel like he wouldn't be on his best behavior in a way of just like.
So he wouldn't even get to know. So Buddy couldn't even ask for your hand in like none of that. Don't even shotgun.
I never want to say never. That's all I'm saying. I want to bring somebody home like to my parents, but I mean, granted, they're not married. They've never been married. They had 4 kids by the age of 17 and shit. They were like, yeah.
Wait, what? What? Rewind,
girl. So
they had 4 kids.
Yes.
By the age of both of them.
Yeah. So okay. So my grandparents are from Haiti. My mom's mom and dad. My dad's mom and dad from Haiti. They migrated to Bahamas. My dad's parents had him in Bahamas. My mom's parents had her in Bahamas. Then they migrated here. Okay, like Little Haiti.
Got it.
And I don't know the details if it's small world and they just so happen to migrate at the same time when they were families and they known each other and maybe they knew each other back in Haiti. I'm not sure, but Haiti ain't that big, so they know each other. And they come here. My dad and my mom get pregnant at 12. Have my oldest brother at 13. Then got pregnant again. Had my second oldest brother. Got pregnant right after that.
So
when
they
didn't
15. Learn the like.
Then 15, my mom had me, and then around like I want to say 16 and a half, 17, had my youngest brother. My mom and dad. Then my dad had my younger sister with my stepmom when my sister's 95. So, yeah.
Wait, hold on. Wait. So, wait.
I know. Girl, my mom and dad was hunching.
So, you're how many years apart
young.
from your oldest brother?
We're all a year apart.
So what household was this all happening in? Because they're 12.
Right. So my mom, crazy enough, I had a conversation with her and she basically just told me like chapter 1 of the tea. Okay. And I'm like, we got to talk about it more because what? And these are things that you want to know now while you still have your parents and you can just like have that conversation. But basically she had, met my dad. Just she always said my dad was like a charmer. Like he was so smooth.
At 12?
Girl, I don't understand it either, but that's
at
what
12?
And I think she was like just, she was looking for love in all the wrong places because my grandma is first generation in Haiti. Like she didn't speak no English. Like she only spoke Creole French. Like and she was very stern on my mom, like disciplined her, like, and I'm talking about discipline like you back in Haiti, like they're very
So your mom was 12 and your dad was also 12.
Yeah. My dad was 13 and a half maybe.
Y'all want to know what I was doing at 12? Right? Not that. I was not looking for how smooth a dude. At 12? No.
I had no idea.
That's crazy.
Cycle just hit. Like,
so like
yeah. So my mom said, she met my dad and they just kept having babies. But the first time she had my oldest brother, she told me that story. How she didn't even know she was pregnant. She just, like her parents didn't notice because she always wore big shirts. But it got to a point where she was saying she gave birth in her mom's house and my grandpa was out. He's a pastor at that. So
the whole 9 months, no one.
My mom started giving labor on the bed. Well, not on the bed, but my mom basically. How can I put this? So my mom started moaning, getting very like, okay, something's not right. My grandma basically was like, get up right now. You got to go to school. She was saying how it was like the coldest day in Miami at that point. I know. Now my grandpa comes to the house and he's basically like saying like, like Kellen, like Kisa, like what's wrong with you? Like what's wrong with you? She's like, Daddy, I'm not feeling good. He's like, something's not wrong with you because she already wasn't picking up the phone that my grandma would lock inside of her room. Okay. She would sneak in to get the phone and talk to her dad. She was such a daddy's girl. Like grandpa was the sweetest, like still is the nicest old man, like ride or die for Naples, Florida. He will not move here at all. He's like, I'm not coming to Miami. The Lord is not there. And I'm like, what, Grandpa? What? He didn't say that.
So it was a religious household.
Not even a religious. He just was a sweet old pastor. It wasn't a. But I mean, my grandma didn't play that.
Yeah,
my grandma definitely didn't play that, and didn't speak no English. Like definitely didn't play that. And my grandma, like, she was the type who she was very strict and stern, but like.
So what happened?
That was the old lady,
I'm so like.
So now, my grandpa takes my mom to Jackson Memorial, and the doctor's telling her to take off her, clothes so he can examine her, and she's like, "Oh no, I don't want to." So they send in a woman nurse. She tells me, right? And this is my mom sitting down telling me this story. Girl, we had a glass of wine.
Hold on 1 second, because I'm kind of confused. So she knew she was.
She said she didn't know.
But
that's what I said. I'm like, how did
was your mom like heavy set? Like, how do you not see this huge belly like growing?
She just seemed, it wasn't that big. And her parents, she said, didn't see it. Like, her words, not mine. You gotta ask my mama person. But she was like, she just wore big shirts and she didn't know she was pregnant. But she knew she was obviously messing with my dad. She was like, yeah, But I didn't go into so much detail where I'm like, all right, what now? Basically, she has my brother. They put her in a gown, find out that she's pregnant. Her mom, my grandparents, they lost it. My grandma was trying to give her the CPS before it was like, I guess they called it CPS. Because there's no way that my daughter is pregnant. Like, yeah, Lynn, you sleeping? Like, you sleeping around? Like, they're shocked at this point at the hospital. Now my mom is
12,
having heavy contraction at 12. I couldn't imagine. Heavy contractions at 12. Give birth, baby coming out, head coming out. My mom basically is like, she passes out. Like, it was like,
you're young. That's right? not for the.
Now at this point, my grandparents left the hospital. She said that the nurse was saying, if your parents don't come back at a certain time, because they've been gone for hours, and said, if they don't come back by a certain time, we're going to have to call CPS, turn you in. Like, we don't,
Turn her in and the baby.
Yeah, and
now,
the baby. My grandparents just came back. They had a whole bunch of like clothes and toys, things to just like, get the baby prepared. Because my grandpa was
oh my
so
God.
sweet. Like, get all this stuff just to like, the baby's here. They had no idea.
Nothing, because we had nothing. So there was no diapers. There was no clothes.
nothing. Crazy, right? And that was just her explaining like just that. I'm like, I need to know.
I got so many questions.
Me too. We gotta ask that again.
Back in the day, that happened a lot though, where girls would get pregnant, and the girls would get pregnant, and their foreign parents like didn't really recognize, and didn't know. And like she explained, they used to wear baggy clothes, like hoodies and things like that. And you would think they just gaining weight, but a lot of times back then, our parents was working to survive, right?
Facts.
So they're not paying attention to even homework, and you can't even really blame them, because what we getting paid now, they wasn't even getting half of that, right?
What I'm getting paid right now, they would be like.
Right. And a lot of them was getting paid under the table. So it's not really, I'm not really.
She worked in the fields, my grandma.
Wow.
My grandpa was a pastor.
I was just about to say, a lot of them was just removed from slavery.
Yeah. Slavery was not that long ago.
Right. Right. So, to answer that question, they were just so occupied.
Yeah, with the time.
Right.
So imagine, like,
my mom was a housewife, so I couldn't sneak out my house. I couldn't do any of that.
No.
My mom, nope. So that's I'm over here like, yo, what? How do you not see that? But I could.
And now it's like just being an auntie, and I'm like watching my nieces and nephews grow up. I'm just looking at them like, I couldn't even imagine seeing my nieces pregnant right now, and me not know, or their parents not know.
And also, back then they grew up fast.
Yeah, real fast.
Because look, Biggie and Tupac, they died in their early 20s. And when they was coming up, they was so young. You looking at them like they grown men. No.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like back then they grew up so fast.
It ain't like that now.
So how was it in that, like, how was it in that household? Like, you got.
You know what's so wild? I haven't gone so far back, and I almost feel like there's so much blockage and trauma from like the things that I've gone through that it's almost like I can't even remember a lot of my childhood. I remember 7 and up very vividly.
I say that all the time. I
Oh
don't
my God.
remember anything before 7.
So it makes you almost think like, I don't want to say it's all trauma. I don't know. But I feel like people who've had experienced like difficult times and stuff, you just kind of block certain things out. But I cannot remember. I remember little glimpses like hitting my head on the toilet playing, but really I shaved off, like telling the lie, saying that I hit my head on the toilet and my eyebrow came off. But I really shaved it off, not knowing what the hell I was doing at my grandma's house. So you can imagine.
Right.
So this was
my dad
all
was like, what?
So it was all in your grandma's household. So basically, everybody was raised.
And your grandparents, they spoke Creole, right? They didn't speak English.
They only spoke Creole. That's when I really spoke fluent Creole.
So back then, you can get away with so much because they didn't speak English.
Yeah.
You know that.
I know that.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
So you can
I
get
do
away with
my
so
parents. Yeah, my parents only speak Spanish to this day. They only
Wow.
speak Spanish. So
Like
I get it.
If I wanted to be like a hacker or somebody crazy on the internet, I could have, because my mom didn't know how to use the computer. She used to buy us all of that. Every computer you wanted. She didn't know how to use it.
My brother was a hacker.
What the hell?
I remember he had a book. That's so funny. That is so funny.
I hope you don't mind. Is he still a hacker? Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
I don't know, but he was doing some crazy stuff.
Child.
He was doing some crazy stuff that if he kept at it, I don't know what he could possibly do now.
Yo, you gotta watch
my
these kids.
oldest brother though. This is the oldest. I have two older siblings. So the oldest one to himself, he's always been very like techie. So, but I remember like I have like I call them like
tech is the wave.
I have like core memories, and I remember he had like a hacker book, like literally it was called The Hacker, and it was just like
how bad is the punishment for hacking? I'm just curious.
I don't know.
Because if it's not that bad, and that's why people be just hacking, like
I don't know. I want to say it now. I don't know if I want this to be even, but it's to the point where my mom would get calls from the teachers because he managed to get the credit card numbers from the teacher.
Whoa.
he wasn't playing.
Back then? Wow.
Back then,
Right? Lick.
back
Jouet.
then, and
He
my
had the
brother,
jouet and he was ready to, he had the jouet
my
and
brother
he was
would
ready to
get
go on his sixth play.
order things to go into like the neighbors thing, and then he would like he'll know when it would come, and then he'll get it. Yeah,
Ooh, he was cold
that was my
with it.
oldest.
Statute of limitations passed. It's all right.
That's cool. Okay, Lord.
That was when I didn't find out any of those things till later on. My mom would tell me, but I'm just like, what? My brother would do what? Yeah, that's the phone calls my mom would get from school.
Like, I want to know if you could hack into I don't even know how to say, but hack into like a bank and take the money out the ATM. Is that a hack? Or is that a different kind of hack?
No, of course that's
Hack
a hack.
into the hack
But it's
into
not
the
necessarily
ATM.
the ATM. They wouldn't have to go to the ATM because the ATM is necessarily like physical cash, right? But just hacking into the bank system, right? And withdrawing the money, of course. Yeah.
I mean, my brother would probably be doing
I
that
don't
if
hear
he
about
could.
that jouet
I'm
often.
sure that
You
happened.
hear about that?
I'm sure that happened before. Maybe not now. Definitely not now. But something happened with Wells Fargo at one point.
I don't
Yes,
know.
something happened with Wells Fargo.
I think it was an inside job.
Dang,
It was an
I
inside
should have
job.
my laptop right now because honestly, like,
Research this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but I swear my brother would definitely. And that's the crazy part about it. Those were books that would be lying around the house. My parents would not pay attention to it because they couldn't read it. They couldn't understand
I'm
it.
telling you.
So,
That's why reading's so powerful. You see that?
Exactly.
Cold.
Yeah.
To learn how to do a whole like hacking system project.
all that was happening in the bedroom, and my
Knowledge-
parents
Look,
had
that's
no
where
idea.
He's at. Wow.
All that would happen in the bed. In
Sorry,
my brother's bed.
Adobe. We used to hack Adobe like crazy back in the day. Before we started paying for the cloud, yeah, we used to hack that like crazy.
I want to hack so much.
No, what?
Listen, I was tempted with the PPP thing when them boys was busting it, but I was like, nah,
Listen,
I'm gonna work for
allegedly-
mine.
Listen, allegedly, if they give out another loan, allegedly,
Allegedly.
I might just.
You gonna test the waters?
I might have to
can I
see
do? What can-
if I can run the duet. I ain't gonna lie. Allegedly.
Oh my god.
The views of Sharrell does not reflect the Be Selfish podcast and Flyer Fear Nation and its representatives. Now back to the show.
Do not try this at home, guys.
Do not try this at home.
Thank you, Mr. Producer. Yes. I am.
This is what is it called?
Bullshit.
I can't pronounce
Hypothetical.
it. Yes, this
Yeah, it's all
hypothetically
hypo-
speaking.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
we not really gonna do it.
I, Sharrell, Lourdes, do
really
not
Are
want
we?
to be incriminated. Even if I bleep out my
No.
name, even if I bleep out my last name, they still gonna find me. They still gonna. They might still.
Well, hell yeah, with the amount of technology they have now, of course.
That's true. I did have to take my information off a few sites. Take your information off sites, okay? Like, you really can go down a rabbit hole of like getting your information eliminated on the internet. I think it's so important.
Oh, I've been seeing it.
I
I
feel
kept seeing
like
how
that
easily
because
you
can
can pop
easily
it
Google
up.
somebody and see their actual home right then and there.
Everything.
Yeah. Every 6
Everything.
months, I erase my Twitter feed. Like every 6 months.
Y'all gotta show me how to do that.
I haven't been on Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter in so long, and
But now we are with the
vibe.
Be Selfish podcast. Okay.
Yeah. Make sure you
Follow.
Be Selfish.
Follow on Twitter. Be Selfish.
What y'all feel about being on acres, right? So I literally think about having all the time, calling it in, living on a farm, being with like my kids and running on the field barefoot, literally barefoot, and like cracking jokes about how me and his daddy this and that, and like loving on them, growing like for real, y'all. And I've been manifesting 50 acres.
Damn,
I've
50
been
acres.
because my favorite park that I go to, right, and it has a heart shape. It's so
Mhm.
crazy. It has this heart shape. And when I was living there, I was with my stepmom and my sister living in like this townhouse in Miami. And for me, that was like the lowest time in my life. But it was the best time because I got to get close to the family and see the importance. Because with my family, like my mama had me at 15, had my brother at 12, you know, and or pregnant at 12, gave birth at 13. And, you know, not having that dynamic because my dad was like, dope boy, just, you know, if he had to get money. If like
He had 4
he's in
kids to feed.
70s now, like he had kids. You know, he had to do what he had to do, but. So I learned that dynamic living there. But this field that I would always go to, especially during quarantine, because quarantine was crazy, y'all.
Oh, no.
Can we have a moment of silence for quarantine? That was like, whoa. But for me, I don't know about y'all, and I hope other people feel like the same piece, but I definitely felt like that reset was needed.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it was good, bad, ugly, like for you, that was neat. I needed that.
It was a reality check, I think, for the whole world.
Yeah. So I would go to this park and I would see this heart tree and I would just manifest. And I would dance in the fields. Like literally, I would be the woman just like dancing and just, okay, doing my what? They probably was looking at me like, oh, she doing some ritual shit. She ready to go praying over this field. Okay, I was calling on my honorable ancestors, known and unknown. I'm just like, what? The land is where we need to be. Ownership is what we have to have.
Because with land, you could create anything.
What? And that land was 53 acres. My favorite number, 3.
Oh, wow.
The apartment I live in now, 3. You know, it's like 50, and then, I mean, we're in 3 right now.
So many threes.
So many threes. And that's a
cameras.
beautiful number for me. That's a beautiful number. It's really, you know, significant.
You want
to
to
me.
know something funny about the number 3?
Tell me.
So I don't like saying it my religion, but in my culture, the 3, we have a Orisha that owns the number 3, and
Ooh, which Orisha?
he opens and closes paths, so he's in control of giving you blessings and also taking it away. So every time I would see the number 3, like let's say back then when I had like casting calls, I would have to like go on the bus, and then when I saw that the bus was bus 3, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this
You
gig,
in good hands. That is.
Yeah, so I would also look at the number 3 for that. So I think that's funny that you, but that's the thing. Number 3, it opens. We always like to see it as it opens pathways. You never want to think of it negatively, but
hey,
number
I already
3
knew that was my number, and I love it. So, and it's significant. Clearly, like I just love it.
Did you read a book about like going into the field and doing all those?
You know,
practices?
I haven't yet. That's wild.
So it just came out of you.
Because there is a
Yeah,
practice.
There
is a spiritual practice about that, like actually hugging the tree.
Oh, I'm a tree hugger.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And being barefoot in the grass, like the meaning of your skin touching grass.
Oh, that, first of all, I already know it just energizes and recharges you, resets you. You sick? Go outside.
Yep. Yep.
Go sit in that sun.
Go get some
Go
fresh
be
air.
one with nature, okay?
Yep.
Like, it knew you before you even knew you. Like,
Bars.
I literally, that's why 2020 for me, now I was depleting in money in 2020. I was like really not wanting to go work or do anything. I just wanted to take that year. It was almost a full year because I didn't even go back to work, and I just recharged in the sun, and I didn't even get sick. Well, I got sick one time. They said I was sick, but I ain't think I was sick. I was
You
like,
feel
yeah,
sick. It was like,
I
no,
am
this is-
not.
This is the toxic.
this-
This is the toxins leaving my body.
Yeah,
This
like
is
I'm like,
me.
it's just toxin leaving. Like I don't know. I do a rapid test at Hard Rock
Right.
just to see, and it's like come back in not even 3 seconds. Okay, it was quick, and I was like, what y'all got back there? That's this. After 3 days, I was straight. You know?
After 3 days, you were straight.
Yeah, I swear to you, after 3. That's why I'm saying it's so wild. Like 3 just shows up, but. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to own the land. We have to be on the land. It just rejuvenates you in ways you couldn't even imagine. Even hair. Even I'm learning now, like, if we just wear our hair out with nothing and it stands up, basically, that's like a signal. You know what I mean? So the more, you know, I don't want to use the word pure because it's been a long time since we've been a little pure. Okay? I wasn't pure today. And in not that kind of way, you know, it'd be the herbs. Certain herbs hit you more than others. And
I can't wear it right now.
I'm serious. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, we have to get into it. That's why I gotta pray for our people, man. Because if we can get together and put some money together and really own this, oh my God! And that's what they're so scared of.
That's what they've been pulling. Well,
That's
like
what
what I was speaking about earlier, that we've been taught this self-hate, this self-thing was like they don't want us to think like this. They don't want us to have these type of conversations. They don't want us to think about acres because they want the acres. So it's like they created this like, no, I want you guys to be against each other.
And
so
they
y'all
want
never
melanin.
come
They
around.
want a lot.
Yeah.
They want a lot.
Yes.
They want a lot of priceless shit. They want a lot. And it's almost like you can't have our melanin. What we're made of
Can't
is
have our
just-
strength.
Oh, but you know, that's when you said the veil has been lifted. Them 400 years, okay? That mind calendar don't play.
I feel like more people are waking up.
Yeah.
More people are waking up, but it's like I feel like I'm not gonna say
But do
it's
you
too
feel
late.
it? You know?
I've always felt like okay.
Oh.
Let's say me grow. Okay, so like I said, I come from it's a Afro-Cuban family, right? Coming here, like I would say coming here because when I got into school and I had to like associate with like, you know, Black American people, it was a little bit different.
How was that? Black American. Black American.
Black American.
Not ISC. No.
Exactly.
Not me. The Black American.
It was something I didn't understand because we didn't have that. I don't know. Like now I see it differently. So I remember. Okay, so like I said, I'm the smallest one, and I'm like the only girl, right? So I had my oldest brother. He was in the computer hacking stuff, so he didn't talk to nobody.
Busy.
And then my older brother, the one that I was like closest to, he was the one that would basically like show me the ropes. Like, okay, when you start school, they gonna do this and they're gonna do that because you look black, but they're gonna say you're not because you're Hispanic or this and that. They're gonna call you. Oh, it was one time I come home and I was like, I told him, they call me an Oreo. What's an Oreo? And he's like, oh, okay, look, I'm gonna show you how to
kids,
fight.
man.
No, this is my brother. He's like, all right, it's time to show you how to fight. I'm like 7 years old.
Period.
And he's like, it's time to show you how to fight. They called you an Oreo. I'm like, yeah. It's like, nah, I'm gonna show you how to fight because like he knew. So I'm like, in my head, I was like, wait a minute, he went through the same thing. So it's like, I would go and you see me, you see the and it was never. So I was in between. I was not black enough for the black people, and I was not white enough for the white people. So for Hispanics, because I'm still considered. So it was like I was in between. I couldn't find my crowd, even though I would go to the black crowd. That's what I felt, but I was not accepted because oh no, you ain't black, you Spanish. I'm like, my parents are Hispanic, but we're black Hispanic. You know, like
they was putting you through that like
you're not one of us.
Yeah,
you're not one of us. Like it was that type of situation. You're not one of us. And then I couldn't attach with the Hispanic people that much because you're not one of us. You're black.
That must.
Oh,
be
you
the
Spanish?
wildest.
Say something in Spanish. I don't believe it. This and that, whatever. It would be like that, and I'm like, why do I gotta prove? I felt like I had to prove myself to each thing, and then in my head I was like, I am so rooted. Like, you have no idea. Like, I'm in my household. Like, we talk like Yoruba. Like, I'm rooted as hell.
Yes.
Like, I know more about my black culture than I'm. Nah, come on.
You know what I love about just like tapping back into like your roots and knowing where you come from, and I have to do a lot better, y'all. Y'all gonna grow with me, okay?
Here we grow.
Here we grow. I am not opposed to learning and growing and putting me on to some shit, okay? So please do. Just know what you talk about. Give me a good book.
Yes.
Right? So, but I love how you're so rooted, like, and you're passing that down to your children. To me, that right there is doing and holding on.
It'll still be their choice.
Of course. But you don't shy away from nothing. You're not like hiding or secretive about what you and your family do and go through, you know? So I think that's beautiful though. I think it's it's dope. I never had it. I didn't have that, like, although my grandparents spoke Creole but my parents were so young, I didn't have like that dynamic where I'm like,
no, we got legends. We got legends of like stories being passed down from, and so, like, so it's like we don't do this because boom, 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 boom. So it's like that's exactly what I teach. So I'm like I'm feeling like my stuff that I do now with my kids, probably like my great grandmother would do it. Like when I have a cramps or something, I make myself cinnamon tea.
I love that cinnamon tea.
Tea,
yes.
You see, so it's like cinnamon tea. That's honestly, like, I feel like back then what they had to use, they would have to use stuff from the earth.
That's how I know I'm always on the right track, because, you know, when you're younger, you're not thinking about teas and, like, you know, drinking or just getting medicine, like natural herbs and curing yourself. Like, you're not thinking about that. And you'd be lucky if your parents told you or taught you some of that. Like, that's blessed. Okay. And then passing it down in this age. Oh my God. I love that. I love that.
That was the crazy thing. I remember, I wouldn't be able to go home and explain what was going on in school or like the bullying because of that. I remember
what would your parents have said? Shit, my parents, I don't know what they would have said. They ain't never.
No, they would be like, okay, we'll just switch you and we'll put you in a white school. No, Mom.
Ooh, listen.
I'm not gonna be happy in a white school.
Not the white school. Let me.
But mind you, the same thing. No, I literally would be jumping. We moved a lot, so I would be switching. I think the longest time I've been in one school was basically high school, and I was like 3 years in the same school. So elementary wise, I don't know how many elementaries I went to. I was attacked in one elementary by a black girl.
What?
Yep, I was attacked.
Me too.
I was attacked. It was random. You know, like, did you have like the buddy system to go into the bathroom?
No.
So this was like first grade. Do we stop because the camera? No. So this was like first grade. Was it first grade? I think it was first grade or second grade, and I was in Miami Edison.
How was Miami Edison?
Was it Edison?
If you're from Miami,
it's an elementary school though. So was it Edison?
Miami Edison High School?
I forgot. There's a Miami Edison High School, but I feel like it was a.
No?
Oh. I'm trying to think. Was it an Edison? I don't know, but it was in because we lived in. I can't remember now, but it was a moment that we were like in the hood. Girl. And my mom was not happy with me going to that school because she was one of those. She was like, she would be the one
white school?
No, it was
Edison.
Yeah, it was one of those situations where my mom would literally like use someone else's address, so just so we could go to Coral Gables, use someone else's. So she was one of those.
Yeah, girl, mine too though. That was the thing to do back then. I don't know now. Apparently they're giving you years.
Mothers are going to jail. Mothers are going to jail.
Moms is going to jail to send her school to a better school.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. Word.
That used to be the thing back in the day, for real.
No, but there's women that they're going to jail because of they're not in the same district.
That's nuts. Yep. Just to hear that nowadays is like, y'all really just want to lock people up. Because are they really locking white women up and like for putting their kid in a better school, or do they automatically just get a better school? I don't want to.
No,
I don't want to generalize.
You belong
people,
to that neighborhood, so your child goes to that neighborhood. So it was
Nah.
that type of. That's what I'm saying. They built it so we could hate each other. They built it so we could suffer. That's.
Yeah, that's where redlining came from.
Yeah.
They
I
built
did
it so we
learn
could
that when I
suffer.
took a real estate class.
Yeah.
I didn't finish it.
So then, what was
But
I?
I'm
gonna-
disappointed in that.
Yeah, because I did it twice, and honestly, I just didn't like it.
Yeah,
But
feel it wasn't
I was like,
true.
I knew I want to make this money, you know. But my mom's a realtor, my friend's a realtor, and well, she's not a realtor no more. But my mom's not a realtor no more either. When I think about it.
Oh, they
But
didn't
shout out to the
find it.
realtors, because
Right. Because listen, the realtors be helping a brother out. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you need somewhere to
A real
live.
good realtor.
That's what I really. You need somewhere
good-
to live. You need a roof
No,
over
but
your-
a good realtor.
A real
The
good
ones that
realtor.
A
actually
great
want to
realtor.
find people home.
Oh yeah,
and
a
not
great
just 'cause
realtor. Not
of-
even a good, because you have to be beyond good to be a realtor. Like I really feel like you have to love it and know what you're talking about. And hey,
But apparently,
setting.
those realtors that have a heart don't be making it.
because they be wanting to cross over the line and tell all the things that they tell you not to say in real estate school. And they be like, we're gonna get you this house.
Right?
We are gonna get you this house. You're gonna get in this
And that's
house. It don't
so
matter if you're
fun.
making this. We're gonna figure it out.
I'm not
Pause.
gonna
I
be
gotta be
petty.
very
I'm
true
not
to
gonna be
myself.
petty. Fine. I'm not
I
gonna
gotta be
petty.
very true to myself right now, because
I'm not
I
gonna
have
be petty.
to be very true to myself right now. It is working. I remember seeing a meme where this girl says, her friend asked, "What do you do for a living?" And she was like, "I love my husband, and
I think I know. I see
Oh,
that.
when she said that, I said, "Sign me up. Sign me up to love my husband, hold down the household, not have to worry about money." But I will also say it leaves you in a very vulnerable state if you're not handling your personal affairs. That's what I will say.
I'm not
Because if I had
sold.
the option today to be a housewife, I wouldn't want to be a housewife like y'all was telling me. I don't really
I'm
like
not
that.
sold.
But-
I'm sorry. I'm not sold.
But I gotta keep a side business, something. I gotta keep a separate bank account. I gotta keep a little side something
I'm
shaking.
not sold. I could love my husband and work.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sold.
I'm not saying that you can't love your husband and go out and work for 12, 14 hours a day, because you are a Lily legend.
Stop.
And
with
you
the
definitely-
legend. Oh
You
my god.
You understand what I'm saying?
16 hours.
Okay, 16 hours.
22 hours.
I did have a
You-
22-hour shift.
You have those days, right? It's going to be challenging, and I would think, okay, I haven't experienced this yet, but I would think it would be challenging working those days, unless you obviously have somebody who's in the field with you who understands that life. But excuse me, y'all, if I had the choice, for sure, but I still got to make a bag or something else.
You're like, I still gotta have some
I'ma
kind
hold
of
on to that,
business.
'cause
I
I
gotta
don't
have
know-
something.
But the way she said, she's like, I don't ever have to worry about nothing. And I was like, oh, yeah, I mean,
You don't have to worry
But I
about
don't like
anything
that.
but that relationship, because if anything,
That's a lot. That's a lot.
you I don't know.
You gotta have something shaking. Y'all saying they don't have nothing shaking.
a house, like a housewife, just all you in one. Probably
I didn't
that's
come
my
up on that.
definition.
They kids, no, they have their kids.
No, you
They have-
working.
you have your husband. You have your life. This is what they want. You remember growing up, getting married and having that picket fence, that white picket fence, right?
For women, that was
Right.
so big. They would teach boys differently.
Well, to be real with you, a lot of boys wasn't even being taught. That's a conversation.
They definitely wasn't
deeper
talking
within
about their
itself.
emotions or feelings. And
Right.
nowadays,
Yeah. But I mean, nowadays, thank God, we got certain books that we can read, like Cry
Yeah.
Like a Man. That's a very great book if you want to get in touch with, not
The
your
way of the
feminine
superior
side,
man.
but that's a great one too.
the way to a superior man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gems.
Mr. Producer, I don't know which
Bars.
one, but
Bars.
That's you over there.
the way to the superior man. Okay. I remember when Nip said that Lauren recommended that on Breakfast Club. I said, that's how you pick a woman.
Right.
I was like, that's how you You recommending me books?
Mm-hmm.
The Way of the Superior Man?
Mm-hmm.
What? Don't let a man recommend Queen of Food to me, okay? Sacred Woman. I don't know how I'm gonna feel, but I'm gonna be intrigued.
Right.
You can't say that because now they just know what to do.
You're right. Oh
Why'd you just
do
do that?
I get so comfortable us
Don't.
talking right now. I forget.
Please
Yes,
disregard
yes.
that message.
Yeah, block that out because I don't need
Nah,
that.
we keeping that.
You
We
can only
keeping that.
say
Someone,
you gonna tell them the jouet.
Yeah.
Someone
I'll put
listen.
them on how to, you know.
Someone listen. They're like, oh, okay. How
Yeah,
to get Sharrell.
you know what I will say? I'm glad you said that because they really caught me. I got real comfortable. Okay, real comfortable.
All right, so for the fellas out there, I got y'all. What?
Shit, you gonna give them you gonna try to give them the
Nah,
play
they gotta
on
find
me.
them. They gotta find
Because you
that
know
out
what? When I was
themselves.
younger, I would go ahead and tell exactly, oh, what do you want? What do you want? Just fall right into it. Oh, yeah, I want this and this and this. The white picket fence,
That
the
would be
unicorn, the super unicorn, all that.
That would be like the main. That would be like the main thing that we would fail on. Like, oh, so what type of guy you're into? Right, and then we'll be like, oh, you know, someone who's sweet. So we're literally giving them the
play. They're gonna turn into a chameleon real quick. You
for that quick moment, and then once they get what they want, why are you smiling? Because you would do this?
I mean, listen,
No, because I feel the opposite. Because, for instance, right, if you don't tell me what kind of flowers you want, and I bring you sunflowers, and you're into lilies.
That's not what I mean.
I think we mean the same thing. Like,
that's not what I mean.
You are going to use.
They would literally ask. Men would ask us what. Oh, so what's your type? Like, why would you ask me what's my type? Who are you? Who are you? You get me? Like, why are you asking me what's my type?
Yep.
For what?
Yeah.
For what?
Because they want to know so they could play, and that's why
they could act it out.
I don't know who recommended me this book, but I know it was a guy. I think it was my homie Khalil, and he recommended me this Tyrese book. Tyrese. Okay. Damn, what was it called?
I don't remember the name, but I know the book. I know the book.
It's like a red, not red, but the cover kind of had a red black feel to it. Yeah, please look that up so I can't remember, but he talked about having the gift of the gab in that book, like, and you can use the gift for good or you can use it for bad. And when he said that, I was like, ooh, that's it right there. Because anybody can have the gift of the gab. Like, if you know, if you're a charmer, if you're somebody who's just like witty or like you definitely like playing chess, you finesse your way into some shit.
A lot.
But there's a lot of those books out there though that basically kind of quote unquote.
Yeah. That's just the book I read.
Pick up lines. Like, yeah, there's pickup lines books.
Of course there are. There's everything. You know what? I don't know why I'm acting so surprised. Of course there is.
Yeah, for sure.
Ugh.
You have like Red Pill podcasts and stuff like that. You could subscribe to them and they'll teach you on like what to say on a date and things like that.
I want to have a Mr.
Yeah, ways
Clutch,
to friggin' waste a woman's time.
I don't even know how to say it, but
Don't
I
say
want.
it. Beep.
Yeah, beep. Block that out. Okay, yeah. But I have an idea of something that I'm going to write, where it just brings, from a male perspective, the Mr. Bleep book. Okay. Because if you just listen to a man, and I'm so intrigued, and it could be because I have a lot of brothers.
Thanks for listening to us.
Huh?
Thanks for listening to us, by the way.
Listen, I got my biggest advice from my Uncle T. And when I tell you, like, he was the first person I talked about sex with. He called me out. I remember it was Super Bowl. And he had, allegedly... He had a wild party, and I remember it was afternoon, and legends will say it literally had dancers at his party before bringing dancers to the party. Was like, well, no, I can't say that because Freaknik. It's Miami. Freaknik, I was going to say Uncle Luke, Freaknik, legendary.
Oh, yeah.
I remember watching one of my mama's old tapes where a girl put a lollipop in her. I'm just saying, that's what I saw. Yeah. Yes, I know.
Oh,
so
I feel like on this podcast, we're going to get a lot of stories from you and your family. That's just like, yeah. Okay. Go ahead, continue.
They are something, okay? I'm just telling you, they just something. But yeah, after that, my uncle had that talk with me, and he definitely just like when you said that there's a lot of guys who are watching these or reading these books, getting to play, getting the game, but I could appreciate the knowledge in the game and the forwardness that a man can give you, especially when they care about you. You know what I mean? They really care about your well-being. They want to make sure that you're on to some shit. You know what's important, what's the right move. A lot of the time, a man makes a woman. Like, they help us become even more of a woman. I don't even think they know it or hear it
and
enough.
It's vice
but yeah.
versa too.
Yes,
when it's
100%.
when it's healthy and it's honest, it's vice versa too, and that's how it's supposed to be.
I love that.
That's how it's supposed to be. It's a whole teamwork effort, but it takes a lot to get to that.
I love it.
It takes a lot to get to that. You gotta understand all the I don't even know.
It's layers to love.
Yeah,
It's layers to love.
It is.
it's layers.
And you got to understand that the person that you fell in love with is gonna change.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
they're gonna grow. They're
gonna grow. Yeah, here we grow. Like they're gonna grow. So a lot of people is like, "Oh, you changed," but like I can't.
You're supposed to change. You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to learn from your mistakes and not.
Right. You know, so a lot of relationships fail because people can't express themselves or feel like they can't express themselves to their spouse. Go ahead.
So, because getting into that conversation, 'cause I know we had, oh damn, I can't even say what
Just talk.
So, okay. So one of the things that I would say helped me to be able to be loved the way I'm loved now, I literally like being selfish. I had to think of myself because I feel like you can't find that until you're happy with who you are.
Come on.
You get what I'm saying? So that was one of the things that I was not happy with who I was. So it didn't matter who I would be with. They were not going to fill in the void that I still didn't know I had. So it was just more of like, no, I want you to pour into me. But it's just like, I'm empty because I'm not who I want to be yet. So it would be like, why would I want that? Like, I wouldn't find love. I wouldn't find it. It wouldn't be love. It would just be like me wanting to do everything to make this person happy. Right. So after it took a while to like notice that okay, I'm not gonna find love. I'm not gonna be happy with someone because I got a lot of stuff I gotta fix.
And you let it go.
And I had to let it go.
Ooh, when you gotta letting it go be the hardest thing sometimes.
It is
the hardest thing when you have to come to that realization. You're like, if I just let it go.
Coming to the realization already is hard. So then all the work that comes out of it is even harder. So it's just like, no, I gotta literally focus on me. Because I'm not gonna be who anyone, even if I was to find the greatest man, if the greatest man was put in front of me,
would you know what to do with it?
No.
Woo, that's some realness for your ass.
No.
Come on.
I wouldn't have been worthy of it because it's one of those situations where I would.
That's growth right there. Can I take a second for growth right there? You know.
It's real though. Like you really, and then people don't want to take accountability of what's wrong with them. They don't want to take accountability like, okay, why do I feel this way? Why do I have these insecurities? Okay, work on those insecurities because someone else is not going to fix it.
Right.
It's your insecurities.
But even going to saying like, I didn't feel worthy for it.
No.
Like, or I wouldn't know how to do, not worthy, but I wouldn't know what to do with it.
But you want to be selfish and you want to be like, no, I want the best man. I want him, this and that. I want this man to do this for me, do that. It was like, but are you worthy of it?
Right.
Like, what would you do with that type of person? Like, because you're asking for someone, like you said, like superior. Are you superior? Because they're going to want someone superior too.
Yes, exactly.
So it's like trying to get into that, to realizing, okay, like, if I need to, like, for you to be with someone who just believes in you, that takes a lot, because it's hard for you to believe in yourself. So this is a whole other person outside of your life wanting to believe in you.
And the beauty in that alone is, I remember hearing Lauren London saying it before, like, and she heard it from Nip saying, and I think I heard it from Tony Jones as well, the artist, the singer. Like, you do not possess bae. You get to experience that person. And if you can remove the layer of, like, you wanting to just control everything or be in that person's face or their end all be, like, it's beautiful that y'all both, or that person has that mutual respect for you and love and admiration and want to see you win and is showing it and all the things. But it could be, I guess, a thin line for some people, because some people don't get it. You do not get to possess somebody. You only get to experience them.
Yep.
And how beautiful is it to experience, and then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and you don't have to hate. You just love. That was a beautiful experience.
You could go find a whole other experience.
Yeah, but still feel like that's just what it was. I needed to learn that and grow from that. I don't like when people just trying to possess you and, like, ugh.
That's how I feel relationships are. And this is relationships. This is friendship. This is any kind of
any
with
ship.
a whole other with a whole other human being. You know, I feel like even if I meet someone or if it's a stranger and we have a random conversation, in my head I say to myself, I'm having this conversation for a reason.
Right.
You know,
because everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for everything happens for a reason. So just situations, you learn from it, right? Like I feel like I had to be broken down, like broken down, so that I could grow the way that I'm growing.
Ciao.
For real. I had to be broken down. I had to see what I could take, so that I could be like, nah, this is enough. I'm done. I can't. I can't do it no more. This is too much.
And then do you do it again? Because you don't learn sometimes. You just be like, because you know it's gonna repeat itself time and time again. The lesson's always gonna repeat itself until you learn.
Nah, I learned.
I know that's right. Okay.
I definitely learned. I learned how life can kind of, I feel like certain things happen. You're taught something or you think something's right and then it's not right. It's like if you kind of been like brainwashed in a way to feel like this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is, you know, like let's say the relationship with the father of my kids. This is what you're supposed to be. This is, you know, you have 2 kids, so now you got to deal with no.
But you know what? As not being a mom, hold on. It frustrates me the most. When I know single moms, right? And even down to watching although my brother's a very hands-on dad, both of them are great dads. They have their toxic ways, and and I get to see it, and I'm like, it's hard for a woman to birth a child, have all these body changes, have all these things. You have to take care of not 1 but 2 children, human beings. You can't just leave them at the bus stop and just be like, all right, bye. And if you do, you're a shitty mom.
And it's not even taking care of them. It's also raising them, because these are going to be humans, are going to go out to the world.
And and you want to get them ready and prepared, and for them to be 10 toes down. Even if they 6, okay? Be ready. Because it ain't butterflies and rainbows out here.
Nope. It's not as safe. It's not safe.
No.
It's
like,
not safe.
Don't talk to strangers. It's 2.0, okay? 10x out here sometime. And you have to be wise and discerning, even as a child, and teach them that. Like, come on. Like, and this is not even me being a parent, but it's hard to be a single mom and then going through all these emotions and men just throwing a child on you. Like, I'd be like, oh, excuse me? Hell no. Nah. But sometimes it's just things are out of your control, or it's the lesson that you had to learn, or whatever, for whatever. And the blessing is always the babies, you know, always the babies. Like, that's always going to overweigh any day of just like chaos.
And you know, I know what woke me up, like what made me like, nah, I can't deal with this no more is when knowing that your kids are like sponges. So then it's like history is going to repeat itself.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm like, I can't be in a household anymore where, you know, arguing is a normal thing. So then my child is going to think that's how you're supposed to talk to a woman. That's how, you know, this is what I saw happening in my household and it was normal.
That's called recycling trauma.
Recycling trauma.
So I those were certain things that like around the time where I was noticing I had to like get out. It was certain things like that was like just blinking in my face like, Lily, your son's gonna act like this.
And when they do, they ended up growing up to like talk reckless to any and everybody. God forbid put their hands on a woman or just be so angry and they can't even tap into their emotion.
How you didn't become a product of your environment?
That's a great question.
I have my answer to you.
How did I not become a product of my environment? Wow.
First of all, where you grew up in, I mean, you could mix all of that in.
Yeah, everything. Like I originally grew up in Little Haiti, crushing cans with my grandma for 25 cents she was charging. And I just found out, my grandma was living wild, okay? My grandma had a whole gambling ring in the back. Apparently. I can't even say allegedly. My brother told me. So apparently. And so growing up seeing how strict she was, my mom not really there, but me always yearning for my mom's like love and affection and trying to understand like, why she just threw us on my dad like that? You know what I mean? And then my grandparents, his mom and dad raised us. The herbs that you talk about, like my grandpa, what?
Naturalist.
Okay? Like he knew. And I don't know. And then living with my dad was so fun in the beginning. He was so fun. He was so loving. He was so like funny. My dad's funny as hell. Okay. But then he just became so like addicted to his vices more than anything. So
he got lost.
What? And he always shunned it from us or hid it from us. You know, a little put a towel underneath the door and go handle yours. Or just be like, yeah, do I smell like weed? Like, and at the time we didn't know what weed smelled like, but we knew it wasn't this smell that we were smelling.
Different.
We knew it was something different. And so he got lost in his vices. So I remember at one point he used to just like be so mad and angry and abusive. And but then he would give us $100 on Fridays and be like, go order something.
Each one of you guys?
Each one of us. My dad was a baller. Okay. Him and my uncles were lit. They don't live that life no more. But
because $100 back then was a lot.
Me in middle school with $100, but $100 could have been 2 pennies to me at that point, because now my dad just whooped our ass. I'm distraught. I'm sad. I'm wondering, where's my mom? I'm wondering, like, when is going to be the day where it's just like, okay, he's going to take it too far, you know? And I remember noting that and feeling that in middle school, at least middle school, elementary school. Well, I can't say elementary, but like middle school for sure.
And that's your teenage years. That's when you growing,
got on my period, had to tell my dad first, didn't tell my mom first. So it was just so like, my dad was always the provider, taking care of us. My mom, man. So she just was living her life. So I don't have that experience, but I knew that I didn't want that. And I knew that God gave me different angels that came into my life when it was the right time. And I always paid attention to it. I don't know what it was, but like I said, it's like an internal GPS where, you know, like, I'm going to be okay, you know? So embracing the people who came into my life and really, and women at that, and just loved on me. And I just took snippets of each of them, and I was like, this is what I want. This is what I want to be. I don't want to disappoint my family, but I want to be true to who I am. I want to say what I mean and mean what I say and just like be the best version. Now, I'm not perfect. I'm gonna fail. You know what I mean? Sometimes, a lot of times I'm gonna slip and learn, but I'm gonna like figure it out, and I'm unapologetic about it. Like, that's what it is. And I just knew that. So it really just taught me, like, if you don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over, then do something different and choose better. Like, yo, my parents was wild, but I just know it didn't feel right to be like,
to you.
Yeah, and maybe I still have that trauma. I'm actually looking for a black therapist. So if anybody know one and suggest a really great therapist, let me know. Because a black woman therapist, I'm praying for, but I'm also open. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, because maybe there's also things that I'm not seeing or unlocking yet, and I just want to get the help while I can. Because like we said, like there's certain things I don't remember from when I was 7. 7 and up I remember, but anything under that was like a little foggy. Yeah. So I think something's called like hypno something. They mentioned it it's hypnotherapy, I want to say they call it. Something to that. Right? But I want to like now know like what is it gonna unlock. They also say ayahuasca help too, but I haven't gone down that path. Ooh.
Did you study it?
Okay, so I listen to a lot of TED Talks.
Okay.
I listen to a lot of TED Talks.
That's a good start. That's a good start.
I don't know if it originates in Peru, but a lot of people go to Peru and they have ayahuasca, and that's supposed to unlock like your inner deepest from trauma. I guess I don't know. They never mentioned happiness, like.
No, that's a part of it.
You gotta let all that out so you could get to. That's the whole. I guess that's the whole purpose of it. You gotta let all that out. Yeah, all of it out.
So that's interesting. So I at a time I wanted to do ayahuasca for sure. I was like, and I remember calling, and this is like after I got baptized and all this, and like I want to say years down, but I asked a friend of mine who was so like into the church, and he was like. And it's crazy because he's actually the one who, even though my grandpa was a pastor, he was the one that kind of guided me to like just having a relationship with God versus any kind of religion or spiritual, whatever, just having a relationship. Right. So now I'm watching all these TED Talks. I'm looking at ayahuasca and I'm like,
because you know you have trauma.
I know. I don't even think I called it at that time trauma. Yeah. I think it was more like. Just it was like an inner knowing. I'm like, there's something else there. It's gotta be. I feel it. I know it. Like when they talk about know thyself, I'm working towards knowing thyself like every day. Cause what? You know how powerful that is?
Now, cause I'm like, you know,
and
that's
so
crazy.
if ayahuasca is the thing to kind of get you that way also, then hey. I was interested in it, you know, but then my friend was like, no, you're going to unlock some things that you don't even know if you want. So I don't know. I got scared by it, but I did go to Peru, a friend of mine at the time. And I definitely, I wanted to do it, but I just, you know, you got to have a whole retreat experience. You're throwing up. You want somebody there caring for you and taking care of you. So it's a whole process and like dynamic in itself. But would y'all do it? Would you do it? Ayahuasca?
I would definitely do it.
Yeah, using like I'm a Mr. Producer's like hell yeah, sign me up.
I've studied it for so long, and I've like you said, TED Talks and podcasts and things like that. And after I did mushrooms,
I did mushrooms too. You have done mushrooms?
He wants me to try it the first time.
Yes,
because you're gonna be in a great vibe. Right. You're gonna be like. And granted, when I took it, and not to cut you off.
No, go.
When I took it, so I heard that if you're in good company, you're going to have a great time.
Right.
But if you're in bad company, hold on fucking tight. Everything might not be, for me, everything might not be what it appears to be.
Yeah.
And the first time I tried it, I just, you know, it was like me and another couple and my man, you know, and we decided to drink it as a tea and go watch the sunset. That's what they recommended. At the time, me and my ex didn't know. We just like, all right, we trust them. They cool. Let's do it. So now we do it. And I don't know, for them, I gotta stop scratching. for them,
I keep doing this.
I know. I always do it. I don't know what habit that is. Lord, help me figure it out. Maybe my therapist will help me figure it out too. But so we tried the tea, and everyone's like tripping, but in a good way. They seem like they're in a wild state, right? I'm seeing the sun go up, but the sky, the clouds just looked so bright, like almost like the lighting, like bright on my, like it was like, am I high? Because the tea was nasty. My man is cheesing crazy. They're all floating, doing their own thing, and I'm just sitting here looking like the light, the sky looked a little brighter than normal, but it didn't. So the second time I tried it, I was with a different ex. And I thought this motherfucker was trying to drop me off of the pier. Like, I was tripping.
Wow.
I was tripping.
So it's off of the person's energy.
Off of their energy. That's why I'm so big on energy. Like, I ain't messing with you too long.
So you think there was some kind of insecurity before you took the mushroom that
honestly
made you feel that way? Like, maybe that was like your inner
It was my
self.
inner knowing like, okay, girl, you
can't trust this dude.
You're giving very Stella got her groove back. He young. This was a one and done, but we lasted for 8 months. But I definitely was not in a good space with him. I was just like, oh, I know I gotta break up with him, and I feel like I'm gonna be his like real heartbreak, his first real heartbreak. I know, and them hit different.
See, it was like a entanglement type
nah,
of situation.
like that was
not like that, but
boyfriend,
the older woman, younger dude. So you showing him,
and I was
something.
just turning 30. What? I met him 2 weeks, and he showed up to my 30th birthday, where like my friends threw me this huge surprise party. Yo, he made a video. He wasn't there. I said show up because it felt like he just came in the room and shut shit down. But basically, they sent in like a duet video or whatever you want to call it to like wish me a happy birthday, a tribute video to wish me wishing me a happy birthday.
So
and he's on it, and mind you, I meet him driving like 80 miles an hour on the fucking highway, okay, and we just lock eyes. And at the time I was doing network marketing, so I needed everybody to see my business and sign up. Well, I lost a lot of friends doing that crazy, I wouldn't call it crazy, but I just say, yeah, that's a whole nother story in itself. But I met him, and he was young, and he made like a little video because now he's on my team. He signed up, of course. Meet him on the highway. I was like, yo, meet me at our office. We did our presentation, signed him up. And then a few days, 2 weeks later, not even immediately, he's on my team, but I've known him for like not even 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah.
And he's a part of the tribute video that my friends are throwing me for my birthday party. And it's almost like, when he, wished me a happy birthday, I was like, oh, this no, like me. And he was Cuban too.
Aww.
Girl. And a Scorpio. Yo, what? Scorpios is passionate. Let's say that, and can get crazy. But that was trippy.
I stay away from Scorpios.
Girl.
Like to the point, like, what's your sign? Scorpio? Bye. I don't want, nope.
Scorpios, yeah. Scorpios are definitely, they're going to take you on a ride.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Nope.
I wouldn't even date my own sign. I'm a Taurus. I feel like Taurus males are, they definitely bougie in their own way, and they feel like it's a really their way or nothing. Like, even if it's like, nigga, I ain't letting you lead me nowhere. Okay. I'm not letting go of that much control with you. I don't know. I can't generalize it, but I just feel like Taurus males are not that. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I love y'all. I do, but hell no.
Scorpios can stay away.
But what the heck was we saying right before that?
You were telling me about the guy you had the bad trip with.
Oh yeah, so I had the much. Sorry, so if you got it, I don't know how you gonna.
She can't smoke before.
No, I definitely can't smoke before. It's gone. It's set, but for sure, I couldn't do it because, like, I had a bad trip. I thought he was literally trying to
get rid of you,
get rid of me, and it's not. And he picked me up sometimes, like just like holding me, swinging me around. he definitely adored me. He definitely adored me. Like, I wouldn't even call a man my boyfriend if I didn't feel like he really adored me and cared. But he was too young, and the energy just was not right with me doing a trip with him, and I definitely broke up.
You didn't feel secure with him?
I wouldn't say so. I was very secure. He was at like, I'm fucking on this 30-year-old, and she telling me.
But as far as like your life, like
my life,
being with him long term,
that was not gonna work. Yeah. No, because I love a man who's established and has something going for himself, and who ready, like at my big age at least. But then I just was having a Stella got her groove back, and you know when flirting you take it too far after flirting.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
end up in a whole relationship.
What tripped and stumbled into this? Okay, like yo,
why you looked at me?
Tripped and stumbled into it. So at this point, nah, I wouldn't. Nah. But I will say, if you are in a relationship,
you experienced him though.
I experienced him for sure, and I loved it. It was beautiful. It definitely was beautiful. And I thought, man, if he was a little bit older. For real, I was like, if he was a little bit older, he just has to because with age comes wisdom, right?
But I thought age is just
age is. I can't really. I don't think so. I think for me, I feel like for sure, I could bet on it that with age comes wisdom. At least it should, but it definitely comes with some wisdom, and he still needed to fly. He still needed. I'm still flying, but I'm saying he needed to take off. He wasn't even off and been anywhere. Like I put him on to get a passport.
Oh wow, but he was just getting his wings, literally.
What?
He was just
freshly clipped off. He experienced, his first death in life, and I was with him in the beginning of that time. So just all of that bond in itself. What it did teach me is be gentle with people. Like even if you gonna have your Stella have your groove back, be gentle with that guy or that girl, vice versa, because it could really make an impact in a way where it could be positive. Life. Yeah, it absolutely makes an impact. You spend so much time with someone, you almost, start to like the trees just grow with each other and grow into each other. So I was gentle as gentle could be, but when I had to rip the Band-Aid off, I definitely did. But I know he would say right now to this day, I'm one of them. And I'm one of ones, I really put him on. So that makes me happy and proud. Cause ain't it whack when you just hate your ex? I just hate you.
I try so hard to not have that situation.
Too strong, right?
I try so hard not to have that situation. Cause I think it's hard to say that you hate someone that you literally shared time, to say you hate someone that at one point you told them you love them, then that means that love was never really there. So that means that you never really, I don't know, it wasn't real. Right now, if certain things happen right throughout that, and people go certain ways, or people tend to do certain things to you where you have this, I wouldn't say hatred, but this starts growing.
I feel like when I say hate, hate is hate, right? But it's I hate you, but I love you. But that's neither here or there, because
I'm
honestly,
hate. I'm talking about despise the person.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you for the rest of my life. Type stuff. It hurts to say that. I can't think of.
I think it depends on the situation, because if they're hurting you and it's abuse in any level, I think just rip the Band-Aid off and get out while you can. You know what I mean? Because are we in domestic violence month? This is domestic violence month and breast cancer, right? This is it? Yeah, it is. It actually is.
Mr. Producer, gonna check.
Yeah, it's breast cancer. Listen, the amount of women that go through breast cancer in itself, the numbers are high. So yeah, the numbers are high. I don't even know what the numbers are, and I will know, I need to dive into, but golly.
Get your checkups, ladies.
Get your checkups. Yeah, touch on the boobies. Be one with the boobies.
It is.
Checkups.
Yeah, it is.
October 1st through the 31st.
Yeah.
And what's domestic abuse. I know it's mental health month too.
I think every month is mental health month. Shit,
True.
the amount of like, you
But I
know,
would
and it's
say
not a joke.
It's dope that you're open with saying I want to find a black therapist or find a therapist, because a lot of people don't want to take accountability of that.
That's a whole thing in itself. Like, why? I mean, I know why, because obviously, like, from our, you know, from generations and the trauma of like, first of all, being beaten, like abused, belittled, and then you get to a point where now it's like you literally lost yourself, and you're like, I just gotta survive. I'm in survival mode. And I feel like a lot of black people, we're always in survival mode because of that. Like,
we're born into survival
we're
mode.
born into it, right? It's like in us. So you have to have just like a consciousness, and not even consciousness. That's not even the word I want to use, but just level of awareness. Like, this is what we've been through. Mm-hmm. Do I want to stay in that small thinking? No. And if your answer is no, like, what are you gonna do about it? Because I wish, man, sometimes I wish, like, I wonder, like, if my parents really seeked help, where would I be right now? And now we're in a space to 2022 where we also get to see, like, the access that from your parents setting the foundation from like when you're young. I'm talking about people are getting, you know, like white people, they start off their kids with getting credit cards and putting certain things in their names and building them and things like that. And it's like, we're not learning that, on top of getting abused, on top of being like the minority, on top of like being hated on every day. It's like,
no, I feel like the whole system was literally built to be against us.
Oh, for sure.
So then we fight.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like we deal with that, and then we also have to fight what we go through as like our skin tone. Like, because let's say you could go into anywhere with your app. Like, let's say you have a resume. Your picture's not on the resume. That resume looks amazing. It looks great. Like, oh my God. You get called in for which it would happen with me, because my thing would be Lily Castillo, right? So they're like, oh, it's a Spanish woman, blah, 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 blah. They'll talk to me on the phone, blah, 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 amazing. Oh, we can't wait to meet you, this and that. Walk in, they're like, Lily Castillo.
What they thought?
Right,
Castillo?
Lily Castillo, right here.
What they
I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah. Mind you, we had a whole phone call conversation.
Oh, so they switched up. You could feel that energy off of them.
Switched up, and in my face, I'm like, I already know from the moment the disappointment of the person's face when I'm like, I'm Lily Castillo.
Yeah,
like, it's me. It's one of those like, oh.
Do you even have to fill out job applications anymore?
No.
Right. I don't know the last time I filled out a job application.
No, but this is like the sad. It would just be that moment. That would be like, wow,
Thank
you're
God.
disappointed
Some
because
people,
of how I look right now.
But some people don't even get that far to even get
right
an interview. Your last name Brown, or you know, Williams, or something like that, where they know it's, you know, it's kind of like a quote unquote Johnson, like a quote unquote black last name standard, or
right,
whatever, or stereotypical black last name. Yeah, you wouldn't even get the interview. It was just like next. Yeah, you know. But to your point of, I wish our parents would have got like a therapist.
Yes.
You know,
they weren't worried about
they
that.
didn't. It's not that they wasn't worried. They didn't have access.
They didn't. And that's why, for me, when I pray, I even pray for access, pray for resources, because,
they did not have access.
They didn't have that.
We get so tied up into looking at our parents like superheroes. We forgot that they're just humans like us too.
They're just human beings.
Right? Learning the system that you keep bringing up that's against us. It's against us, but it was against them too.
Right.
With less resources.
Right.
With less resources. Right. And they were just providing so we could have a roof over our heads, so we could have food on the table.
Do you know how much people Talkspace helped it during the pandemic? You know what I mean? Talkspace is a therapist site, right? I did Talkspace, right? Because I believe in, you know, going to the therapist and mental health and things like that. So that helped a lot of people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So they didn't have that.
And the fact that we all have it the access to it. And
Access.
the fact that we have the access to it, because access is big for me in multiple ways in my life that just show. So I'm like, when I tell you access, we have it, and for us not take advantage. And I'm talking to me too. I'm not over here putting no. I'm talking up to me. Okay. And to not even like take advantage of that access, like I be feeling like shame on you, Sharrell.
For instance, right? They couldn't even go to the library to read a book.
Right.
Right.
And look at all these books. Look at all these books that surround us.
Right. So when I hear people disrespect our ancestors, I'm like, I don't even understand. It's because of them we could pick up a book and read right now. Right? Forget
You
voting.
right. Forget voting. I'm just saying, I said that really loud. Y'all know my
It's the
business
truth.
now.
But-
It's the
but-
truth.
Hold
Because
on.
of them we could pick up
Hold
a
on.
book and read right now.
I said
Hold
that
on.
real strong.
I still feel like it's something you have to give yourself access to even accept that. Because
Right.
there's people who don't want to
And
understand.
that's called accountability.
Yes.
There's people that don't understand.
We don't like that word though. We don't like that word.
We don't. There's people
Accountability.
Yeah.
There's people who don't understand that a lot of things cannot happen right now. Like a lot of things would not be able to be happening. We couldn't be able to accept a lot of things. So it's like sometimes I'll look at it and I'll just see how people, like we were talking like how we hate, like the hate between black people.
And
I'm
it shouldn't
like,
be
damn,
that.
bro. Do you guys understand that? Like back in the days, like we would help each other. Like the underground railroad would not happen if it wasn't black people helping each other.
For real. Okay, Sherry, shout out to Harriet, okay?
But you
Shout out to
still
Harriet.
had people that was fighting against that.
Yes, 100, always.
Because there was people that got caught. You know?
So true.
So the point about like when people say the people that do agree with slavery was a choice, their argument is, oh, they should have fought. There was a lot of people that
They
fought.
was fighting.
They all
There
fought.
was a lot of people.
They
who
ain't
there's
had no
people that-
choice but to fight.
Right. And
They didn't
fought,
have no
got
choice
caught.
but to fight. But a lot of people will turn their face nowadays, couldn't even walk a mile, a block, okay,
Right.
in our ancestors' shoes. You hear me?
You take an Uber to go a mile.
Right. Oh, let me tell you, I used to walk at some points, okay, and get rained on. Even at my big age. So when people like, I'm gonna just jump in this Uber, I'm like,
Yep.
if I could walk at least a few miles, I'm gonna do it.
But guess what? They'll go to South Beach and go up and down them blocks
Oh.
for hours.
For hours.
For hours. For hours.
In the car,
For hours.
rented.
said rented.
Miami Luxury Rental, I'm sure it's a name out
For
there,
the
okay?
look
But
of it. Just for the look of it.
they need to,
Just for the look of
if you
it.
need sponsorship.
Hit us with the sponsorship.
Hit us. Yeah, you feel me? You feel me, Mr. Producer? Hit us with such. But I'm saying like going up and down, and we're just watching and we just looking and but then you get to a point where you're like, that's sad. You know how beautiful it is to walk the strip,
Right.
see all these different people.
Right.
Catch your own vibe. You can have your own little lick if that's your vice. You can have a little blunt in your hand if that's your vice. You can do a little whatever. For me, I like smoking cigars. I'll walk down the strip and have a cigar. You know, early on in years. In the early, I don't know, years ago, okay? I literally would be like the girl in like the bikini, but like the heels and like fully done and going to the beach. And now it's just like, get to the beach. Catch your
Like you need
vibe.
it.
Pull up.
Right.
Like you
I
need the
literally have
beach.
beach tips. Like, get you your umbrella, okay?
Facts.
Invest in a little umbrella. Okay?
I do the tent. Go ahead.
Get
keep
the
going.
tent, okay? The big boy joint.
I do the snacks.
Make sure you have a cooler, or it ain't even got to be that big, but you just need something to put the ice in, and it's not gonna melt too fast. Make sure you have your fruit, okay? I like fruit. Keep you hydrated. You don't need to be full on the beach and being dizzy. Have your drink and make sure it's the drink that you actually love to sip on.
Yep,
that
because you're going to be doing some sipping.
You're going to be doing something. You're going to be for a long time. And bring water. I'm not
Facts.
talking about one bottle. I'm not even talking about the biggest. I'm talking about a few bottles just in case.
To stay hydrated.
Minimum 3. Okay? Now you got your blanket. Get some music. If all you got is your phone, you better hope your volume is loud enough.
Right, because them waves is loud.
Them waves is beautiful and loud. Okay, and then catch your vibe. To see people just driving up and down the street, that's such a shame. It's
Right.
It's like, come on, yo.
And it's to driving up and down the street just to show off.
And
Just
for
to
the
show
record,
off
for the record, on holidays when the beach is hectic, that is not locals.
That is not local.
That
We
is
don't
not
be there.
us.
Born and raised in the county of
We
Dade.
talk about
We are
South
not-
Beach. We
I
are
stay
not
away
there.
from South Beach. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't.
right now.
I can't do
at
it.
Fountain Blue. It's like we did the setup for them, and when I tell you Fountain Blue right now is like Snoop Dogg, Pharrell, all them, like they're living it up.
Yeah. I can't.
Listen, I love that.
I like going to the beach.
But the beach is not for locals, so stay away from the beach if you are local.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I mean, we ain't even gotta tell you. You know. What
yeah,
it
you
is.
know that ain't
You know
us.
what it is.
That ain't us.
Yeah.
I mean, I go down there to film. I get booked. I go down there film, and I'm out.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
You know what I actually want to do? I want to roll up on people and ask them questions on the beach.
that would be
Do
cool.
that. We should do that.
Ask them like what kind of
I don't
questions.
know.
I don't know yet, but that would be cool just for some content.
I think that would be dope though. Like, ask them something, and we'll do our homework. We'll pick something, and for sure, like, go and
I'm down for it.
I'm
I'm down for it.
Hold the phone.
I'm down for
Or
it.
Mike, whatever.
Are we asking them like serious questions or are we
They
like?
gonna be drunk. We can't ask them nothing serious.
But that's
Yeah, it's
also
all gonna
funny
be pure
though.
comedy at
But
this
that's the
point,
funny
but-
part. Ask them some real serious questions
That'd
and
be-
see what happens. Maybe we find someone be like on their shit and be like, oh, okay, what's up?
You
What's going
surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah, we were expecting something else, but okay, keep talking.
What up, y'all? So, thank you for tuning in to the Be Selfish podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We really appreciate it. You know, show us some love. Spam us on IG,
For
Be Selfish
sure.
Pod. Make sure YouTube, Twitter. We're answering questions, so whatever you want to know, ask.
For
We
sure.
here. Yeah. I don't know, Lily.
So
but
the whole, I guess, purpose of us doing this is to basically go down this journey of finally taking over like our lives, you know. And with that being said, it's us being selfish. The reason why I want to give a different perspective to being selfish is because I feel like I come from a past where I always did a lot for others. And I thought that was good to do, to help others and help others and help others. So it came to a point where I would lose myself helping others. So then I'm like, nah, it's my turn. I need to be selfish. I need to think about myself. I need to put myself first because nothing can happen. You know, my life won't go because what am I doing? Like being the stairs for someone else. But yet, you know, I'm down here like, hey, no, they would just leave you down there because guess what? They were being selfish.
period.
So that's basically like, I feel like I wouldn't be Lily Lovely, not legend, but Lily Lovely.
Lily Legend.
Oh,
Lily
God.
Legend. We agree. That's it. Stamped.
If I
done.
wasn't being selfish. And it's still something I'm learning. So we're definitely gonna have people that are gonna, you know, that are mentors or they know when it comes to self-love and all that to be a part of this show and help us on that journey also.
Yes.
You know, because it's something we're also learning, and y'all should. I'm welcoming you guys to learn with us.
This is
So-
a safe space.
Oh, for sure, super safe. You see how comfy we are?
Okay. This
Super
is a safe.
safe
This is a
space.
safe
Super.
space, and yeah, like Lily said, we're here to grow, and y'all got to grow with us. Okay.
Mhm.
If you're our tribe and you rocking with us, let us know. Okay.
And we gonna get deep.
Yeah, they're gonna be our tribe, our Be Selfish tribe, and
We gonna get real deep here.
yeah.
I want to be able to show, you know, for you to be able to love yourself, you gotta know every single part of yourself.
Absolutely.
So that means the good, the bad, the ugly. You gotta understand that's a part of who you are, and it's what makes you. And then now you gotta understand how to control it,
Yes.
how to change that energy into something positive. You know, me coming up from a household where negativity was like everywhere.
Yes.
It didn't matter what I did. It was never enough. So it made it easy for me to be in any kind of situation where I always wanted to have someone tell me, hey, you did a good job. So if I would help
Validate.
somebody, hey, you did a good job, thank you. Oh, that made me feel good. But I was losing energy because that wasn't something, it wasn't something that I could just like, okay, cool, kudo points. What does that do for me now? Nothing. I just would go home with the fact that, okay, I helped someone, which it feels good. I'm not gonna lie.
Because to
Feels
service to
good.
many is to lead to
Yeah.
greatness. So it's like, you definitely want to have a servitude heart, but don't overexert yourself. Don't put yourself in a position where you're getting burnt out because of other people's energies.
What
and
would
you're bringing it on
happen?
you.
What would happen would be it's who you put that energy into.
Right.
You get me? So you have the person that would be grateful for it and they show it. Then you have the person that would just abuse it. So I feel like people who tend to always help fall into the hands of people who abuse.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it
Bars.
that's what makes it easy for us to, because what ends up, it makes you feel important because you're like, no, this person needs us.
Right. And
This
isn't that
person-
codependency? I mean, come on.
Like, this person needs us, so this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So the more I help this person, I'm doing something good because I'm changing their life. But mind you, it's like a battery life thing. You're charging this person up, but yet your battery is just lowering and lowering and lowering. That person's not charging back into you.
Now you next to me at the park trying to recharge and figure out your life. Okay.
Exactly. So it's definitely, if any of you guys have felt that type of way, or if you feel that way now, like, we've been there before.
We've definitely been there.
We've been there before.
And
We
that-
probably still go through it,
Oh, life is where it's not going to be just rainbows every day. It's an up and down at all times, and it's how you handle it. And it's your mindset behind it, because once you change your mind, you can change everything.
especially when you're trying to go
But that's why
against-
we came together. Like, it's crazy from, I want to say 6 years ago or so, like maybe a little longer.
6 years
but
ago, because my oldest, he's six.
yeah,
Six.
he's 6, right?
Yeah.
And so meeting you at that point, and then us coming together to do a podcast where we have the
Full
same views. Like
circle.
you said, be selfish. After we just was
We
having
had
a
to be
conversation.
selfish.
When we was just having a conversation and the name came up, when we were thinking about, we already agreed that we wanted to do a show together and come together,
Mhm.
right? Because we already had that connection. But when you said be selfish, it all came together. It all made sense, because I mean, my sister always says I'm gonna be selfish about mine and about me. So I love the name Be Selfish, and it's changing the narrative of what selfish is.
Yep, exactly.
It doesn't. It's, for us, it's not a negative connotation, or just negative. Like, it's not negative. We're spinning it and being selfish. You can still care for somebody and be selfish. So that's why I love this name, and I love what we're doing together, and that we're gonna bring people to y'all. Okay, like, we're gonna give y'all as much resources as we have, and we're gonna pour into y'all just as much as we're pouring into ourselves as well.
And it feels
And
good. It
it's
feels
really great.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it feels good. It feels good to finally know that, hey, I don't deserve certain things that are happening. The people that I'm around, they don't deserve me.
And then what's that saying? If you can't change your friends, change your friends. Okay. Yeah. So
So you gotta be selfish. You gotta understand, like, it's okay to seek, if you're around certain people that you don't feel like, you know what, I don't feel good when I have a conversation with you. Don't stop it. Don't have that conversation with that person. Like, stop it. Cut ties.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna make you feel better. Because it's like you're cutting off a negative thing. And I don't even want to talk about being negative, because I'm like, apparently I'm like somewhat of a negative Nancy. That's what I'm trying to fix. So I'm being honest here. I'm trying to fix the negative
Don't say
thinking
about my friend in them comments, okay?
I'm trying to fix that. So it's a big war. Like I said, I was raised on negativity. So it's really, really hard to, not think of the worst case scenario when something happens. But then I also know the power of you're calling the worst case scenario.
Okay.
When you think of the worst, you're calling it. So I'm in between learning how to control that. It's still hard. So if anyone,
yeah,
if
it's the law of attraction.
the law of attraction.
So if anyone could come and talk to us, I would love to hear you guys on that too,
Yes.
because like help me please, because I'm
Yeah.
trying. It's hard, but
Help me,
I'm
please.
trying.
Help me, please. We gotta put that in there. Help me,
For
please.
real. For real.
Find something. Timestamp that. Hopefully.
Got you.
Okay. Help me, please. But yeah, so we're gonna give y'all our hearts, and I don't know. Should I say give y'all our hearts? Cause
We're gonna give this show our hearts.
we're gonna give. I like that.
We're gonna
better.
give the show.
Cause words are powerful.
We're gonna put our
and
all
y'all
into
not
the
gonna
show.
Be like,
Right, because y'all don't show up. Let me tell y'all something.
we gonna show up.
I am an avid podcast listener, so
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna speak for all the podcast listeners.
Okay.
If y'all don't show up, or if y'all is consistent and y'all don't show up a week, it's gonna be a problem.
Let me tell you something. We're doing this.
We're doing
We're
this.
growing this.
Okay,
Like
all right.
we take it very serious, and
We're
we're
doing this.
excited. And this is our first
I
show,
swear,
Lily.
you're gonna see the tweets. They're gonna be like, it's 9 a.m. Why we didn't see an episode?
and we're gonna be like, we coming. Send. But no, we're gonna
Yeah.
be very consistent because we love this and we love what we're doing. And the energy is amazing on set. Y'all, this is big business right now. So I'm gonna hype us. Okay. And yeah, I can't wait to the next episode. So we're gonna be dropping on Tuesdays. Make sure you have your subscribe buttons on, your notifications on, and make sure you just
Where can they hear us?
Oh, you can hear us on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, all that.
All that.
Where else, Mr. Producer? Anywhere else?
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, we're gonna be out here. So shout out to Fly Affair Nation, who always making sure we on point.
Powered by Fire for Nation.
And I mean, shouts out to Pretty Girl Progression as well. You know what I mean?
yes.
We can't leave out Pretty Girl Progression.
I mean, Pretty Girl Progression, Be Selfish podcast. It goes hand in hand.
Right.
We progressing and we being selfish at the same damn time, and it's in a beautiful, positive, growing way. So,
Like I said,
Thank
we
you.
want to give you guys a safe home. This is in general. This is for men and women.
we love
Definitely.
Our men.
If you don't prioritize, I can't even say it.
Prioritize.
Scratch that.
Nope, I'm keeping that.
Prioritize because it's real. Prioritize
Yourself.
Y'all know what she meant. If y'all could be reading these crazy text messages and you like
All these
the
acronyms.
hell, and you figured that out, you know my girl saying. Period.
We still gonna scratch that.
Nope,
But
we keep
No, hell no. I want you to keep it. I want them to say something about my friend.
listen, I had to learn English. This is not my first language, so
Okay.
I get some tongue twisters around there. Ay caramba! Like we get those little situations, but definitely want to make a safe space for men and women.
Yes.
To be
100%.
able to be like, you know what? It's okay to be selfish.
We love
do
our men,
it.
and yes, I agree.
Do it. You
Mhm.
You can't manage to do anything. I feel like you're gonna be stressed out, and then you're gonna carry the weight of other people. Why? Carrying your own weight is a lot already.
We'll talk about this for sure, because you know what? Just caring so much of what people think is not where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely gotta y'all just tune in for next week, and we're gonna have a sit down. Okay, so come in, take your shoes off at the door.
Grab your glass of anything.
Okay,
We got wine over here. We got liquor over here.
We need
snacks.
some fruit, a little bit of wine, some drinks, and we're good. So
Here we go.
can we do a cheers? Here we go.
I can't reach my cup.
Oh, get it.
Thank you.
Mr. Producer, hold your glass up too. Here we grow.
Here we go.
Bop, bop, bop. That was good.
Check the socks.
They're not as cool. I just got my regular work socks.